What's up, football fans? Welcome into NFL Daily here by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Thanks for joining us on today's show. Now, if you clicked in, you would obviously see what we're talking about today, the top 20 free agents after the NFL draft. Now, if you're subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, lock us in. Hit that thumbs up button, not only if you are subscribed, but if you like what we're doing here for whatever reason, just click the thumbs up button. It helps us put more NFL content on your timeline. All right, let's get into our guys, shall we? At number 20, Carson Wentz. He was last on the Chiefs last year. I feel like Wentz is one of those players where after that 2017 MVP-style season before that nasty injury in Philadelphia, his career trajectory was going all the way up. Injuries have plagued him. There's been rumors that he doesn't get along with teammates that great. He still is a very talented quarterback, someone that can win a couple of games if he had to come in a pinch in order to win as a backup, but he's nothing more than that. That's why I have him at number 20. Then Tyler Boyd, who played on the Titans last year. If you remember a couple of years ago, Tyler Boyd was the number 3 option on the Cincinnati Bengals. He's since kind of had a steady decline for his career, but for a wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, I think he could make a really nice addition to a team that is maybe starving for a little bit more weapons. Then Gerald Everett played on the Bears last year. Boy, was that one of the biggest busts any Bears fan can tell you. We had such high hopes for him as a tight end too, and nothing, and I mean nothing, materialized with that. So good luck to whatever team gets him, but I do understand taking him because when he played at Los Angeles, he put up some pretty decent numbers with Justin Herbert. Then Von Miller. I'm on the fence about Von Miller. I'm not going to lie to you. The talent I feel like is still there to get you about 7 to 9 sacks, but he's very, very old, and I could just as easily see him putting up a season where he only gives you like 3 sacks, 4 sacks, and here's the other problem. He's not really making much moves outside of getting to the quarterback. He's not good in run protection, and he's not, stretching the middle of the field and getting tackles. So I have him at 17, basically, on pedigree, but I don't really see it happening. Devondre Campbell, a talented player, but I mean, if we all remember what happened with that off-the-field incident where he basically just walked out on his team. Not basically. He did just walk out on his team. And Campbell's career might be over. Like, can we all agree on that? Can we all just take a moment and say, when you walk out on your team mid-game, not only do you deserve to be cut, but there are other GMs and coaches throughout the league that would never touch you with a 10-foot pole. So, unfortunately, I think his career's kind of, towards the end, but he still is a free agent technically, and someone might bite on him. Then Gus Edwards. This is where we start to get into the players that I feel like can start to really make an impact. Gus Edwards was the backup in Baltimore for quite some time. Then last year was the backup to J.K. Dobbins in Los Angeles. They drafted Omarion Hampton. They brought in Najee Harris. So Gus Edwards is looking for a home. As an RB2, I feel like Gus Edwards gives you a lot of, upside. I feel like he could be a very, very good complementary back to wherever he lands. Then Dalton Risner. He's a guard from Minnesota the last couple of years, another player that, has performed pretty well. 2 back-to-back one-year deals with Minnesota, so if there's a guard-hungry team, you could potentially get him on a 1 to 2 year deal. Then Brandon Scherff, another guard, played for the Jaguars last year, probably the highest-rated offensive lineman still left on the board. Again, not a all-star or a Pro Bowler by any means, but a player that if you need to put him in and can give you solid starts, he's a guy that can do that for you as well. Nick Chubb. Interesting. There's been rumors floating around that a lot of teams have been making calls about Nick Chubb, but with the last couple of injuries over the last few seasons, Nick Chubb does not look like the same player. If he can get back to about 80% of what he was, he's still a top 15 back. If you remember, there was a short list where Nick Chubb was on the top 6 or top 7 running backs in the league. So talented, but does he still have it left in the tank? And then Amari Cooper. He kind of dealt with a hand/elbow injury last year. No one knew quite what it was. There was some speculation that it was a broken hand. Some say that it was a nerve issue with his elbow, but there's been rumors about him possibly going back to the Raiders here. I don't know where he would end up. I still think he's probably a wide receiver 3 at this point in his career. Now, let's get into the top free agents still available. These guys are not only starters, in my opinion, but make immediate impacts in terms of production on the field going into next season, starting with number 10. I actually had Elijah Moore in here, believe it or not, and Elijah Moore just signed with the Buffalo Bills, so I have Jawan Bentley here at number 10 here for the New England Patriots. Bentley over the last couple of seasons, he only played in 2 games in 2024, but prior to that, you were talking about an all-pro. 109 tackles, 125 tackles, 114 tackles. Plays that stereotypical middle linebacker position, which, again, if he can get back to even 80% of what he was pre-injury, you're looking at a guy who's right around 100 tackles per season, and I feel like there's a lot of teams that would sign up for that in a heartbeat. At number 9, Asante Samuel Jr., one of the most talented guys here in the top 10 in terms of what he's able to do as a player. But injuries, again, plague him throughout his career. And his are a little bit different. It's not a singular injury that, it's not like a knee thing or an ankle thing or a shoulder thing. He deals with this chronic nerve condition, which are called stingers, which is essentially a nerve damage thing where your nerves, when they expand and contract, they cause severe pain to the point where you can't really move your neck or whatever ligament that you're getting it in. So doctors have said that he has kind of been around and had this for quite some time. So I don't see it going away. But if he were to stay healthy, there are some teams that would be easily pick him up in a heartbeat. The Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets, straight off the bat, at least to me. Carolina's defense last year ranked almost dead last in points per game. In fact, they might have been last. It was like 30.4 points per game. And the New York Jets, they just got rid of DJ Reed. So signing Asante Samuel Jr. could be another really big splash cornerback play to go on the opposite end of Sauce Gardner. Now, name a player that you still want your team to sign. Is there a specific player that's still out there that is an NFL free agent that you're like, hey, I want my GM to go out and sign immediately? Let me know in the comments of today's video. Za'Darius Smith, another player where, again, not an edge 1, but an edge 2 for sure. And last year, he proved that without Aiden Hutchinson, he's really, really good. 9 sacks is great. I don't view him as an edge 1, but if he's a complementary edge, you are talking about the best number 2 edge, maybe alongside Montez Sweat in the entire NFL. So if you put him on the side of like a Montez Sweat in Chicago, or maybe he goes back to Green Bay. Fun fact about Za'Darius Smith for you, the Chicago Bears are the only team in the NFC North that he has not played for. Played for the Packers, the Vikings, and the Lions. Staying in the NFC North, Keenan Allen, who played for the Bears last year. I feel like Keenan Allen gets a lot of slack, and in fact, last year there was a lot of hate on him for a lot of unnecessary reasons. He missed 2 games, had a rookie quarterback that had the worst offensive line in Chicago Bears history, and he still put up 70 receptions, over 700 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I still believe Keenan Allen has legitimate skill to be a wide receiver too. Probably not a 1 anymore, but there is no doubt in my mind, 85 to 88 receptions, 900 yards, 7 or 8 touchdowns is 100% within the realm of possibilities. I can't believe that he hasn't found a team already. Now, there are 2 teams that I have in mind, although the Buffalo Bills did just go out and sign Elijah Moore, but the Los Angeles Rams seem to be the most logical position for him to go alongside Devontae Adams for that awesome 1-2 punch. Rounding out the top, 6 through 10, I should say. I shouldn't say top 5. J.K. Dobbins, another player with injury history. I feel like this list has a lot of injury-riddled players that are very, very talented. Now, over the last couple of seasons, J.K., again, when he's on the field, really, really good. In 13 games played, he had 900 yards rushing and 9 total touchdowns. But every single season, he's had injury problems, whether that was in Baltimore or last year in Los Angeles. But there are some teams that could use his services as the RB1. The Cincinnati Bengals come to mind right away, and the Tennessee Titans. And speaking of the Tennessee Titans, if you want to get a Cam Ward jersey, if you want to get your favorite rookies jersey, we have them now here at Chat Sports with our friends over at Fanatics. These are the coolest jerseys, and you have to get ready to go by the time the 2025 season starts. So do me a favor, use the description and this link in the comments and the description of today's video. I have made sure to put that there for you to check out and start your Fanatics shopping journey today. Thank you, Fanatics, so much, and let's get back to the video. Rasul Douglas, the number one rated corner out of all the free agents that are left. And, you know, the Bills, they signed Christian Benford. They went younger, and Benford clearly gave them a team-friendly deal with that 4-year, $76 million contract. His QB rating doesn't do him a lot of justice. Rasul Douglas can still play. And in my opinion, there is one particular team that is like starving for a cornerback outside of Jalen Ramsey, and that's the Miami Dolphins. But I could also see the Green Bay Packers making a couple of calls because Jair Alexander has been linked to a bunch of different trade candidates and different trade teams. They're sick of his attitude. He's got some, really good talent, but he also missed a lot of games last year with that injury. So keep your eye on one of these two teams to buy in for Rasul Douglas. Julian Blackmon, the safety out of Indianapolis, coming off of his two best seasons as a defensive player. Again, if you pair him up with the likes of a guy like Justin Simmons, who, spoilers, we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, what's the difference? And it is widely assumed and widely talked about that Justin Simmons is the best, if not the second best safety in the NFL. So I think Julian Blackmon is a player that he's only ascending and could command some big money. And I'm not even going to give you two teams. There's just one team that I think is in certain need of a free safety, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders. They've made so many moves in the draft. They went out and signed Geno Smith. They drafted Ashton Genty. I feel like they are one free safety away from getting the train back on the tracks out there in Las Vegas. Kaiser White, a player that plays a lot like a player that plays in Indianapolis, and Zaire Franklin. Take a look at his 2024 stats. These are crazy numbers. 137 tackles. He makes moves happen in the backfield. So he's getting behind the line of scrimmage. 9 tackles for loss. Now his PFF grade sucked, but truth be told, if you're giving me 137 tackles, you clearly have a nose for the football. Field vision and finding plays is not something that you worry about. The Rams, I've been hearing have been in the need for a middle linebacker of his caliber, and maybe the New York Jets who released C.J. Mosley. But outside of that, I feel like a depreciating asset in the NFL is a really strong middle linebacker. That's just the way it is because everybody wants everyone to either stop the run or get after the quarterback. And while Kaiser White can stop the run, he really doesn't, blitz heavy and go after the quarterback as an edge. Our final two, Justin Simmons. We just talked about him. Viewed as one of the best safeties in the league, either 1 or 2. And last year, again, put up some really, really solid numbers. Now, one of the things that I feel like is causing him to not go signed is the money that he's looking for. I'm not so sure that people want to pay a safety the top end dollar, considering it's one of the lowest paid positions in the NFL. But with that being said, I'm sure a team that is desperate for talent on the defensive side of the ball, aka the Cincinnati Bengals, who had a terrible draft, and the Miami Dolphins, who, like I said previously, could use another player on that defensive side alongside Jalen Ramsey. Their number 2 corner right now is Storm Duck. So let's just give you a perspective of what their defensive backfield looks like now. He could be a nice little addition out there in Miami for a safety position. And last, but certainly not least, the man who has caused all this controversy, the man that has been linked to team after team after team and then shut down by team after team, Aaron Rodgers. Last year, the beginning of the season, he was awful. Picked it up, got better as the season progressed, so I'll give him credit for that. He was not the sole reason the Jets were a dumpster fire last year, but he was a cause, and the truth is that there is no other fit than the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I put best fit, but truthfully, it should say the only fit. Because Rodgers only has one more opportunity to play this season upcoming, and that's for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He wanted to go to Minnesota. He wanted to go to New York. All of these things just kind of panned out. The Jets told him to kick rocks. And if the Jets are telling you to kick rocks, something is clearly wrong. So I wish Rodgers the best of luck. I think he has one more year left in him before he rides off into the sunset, but it's only the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if you made it to the end of the video, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. It helps us, like I said, greatly. And if you love what we do here at Chat Sports, it would give us a big indication of us doing a good job. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. Remember to like the video, subscribe, and share this with an NFL fan in your life. My name is Moose. Until next time, be cool.